The 3.3 livestream just got wrapped up, and immediately without wasting any time, the community is having a civil war. One side, we have people calling this a really good update. I mean, I see their point of view, I am inclined to agree. We are reaching the most critical stage of the story. We are getting hella quality of life updates and optimizations, a lot of rewards, abundant new original events. But on the other side, we got an equally loud group of players who are in a way very disappointed. They are not calling it an anniversary. They called it adversary. A piece of doo-doo garbage one at that. So if you take these debates at face value, it looks like we have a contradiction here.
By announcing literally nothing for anniversary and dropping what seems to be a generational amount of good content for 3.3, Kuro Games has entered the superposition of needing to be killed and cooking simultaneously, thus breaking the cycle.
How can a massive anniversary updates be both bad and good at the same time? Hopefully, I could clear the air out for you, so everything will make perfect sense by the time you reach the end of this video. You see, Kuro Games is trying to balance multiple things here. They're trying to give us a second anniversary celebration, but they're also trying to push the game into its most critical narrative stage yet. I mean, we literally went all the way from Jinzhou together, experienced happy and wholesome moments together. We stuck through the hardships and the bugs and the problems all together. In the next patch, we are finally getting answers about IMF, confronting the Threnodian threat once and for all. And in the beginning, when we saw the return of Sol and Lee in the live stream, who really made it clear that if it wasn't for the players sticking around to play the game, Wuthering Waves wouldn't be in this position here today. I mean, to me, it just felt so sincere. Call me biased, but I was proud to be a day one player at that moment. But while the story and the technical stuff are becoming the best it has ever been, the celebration part doesn't feel much like a celebration. The rewards are nice, but the feeling that we are supposed to get, something like a birthday party, just feels a bit lean, you know, if not missing entirely. So today, I want to break down exactly what 3.3 is bringing to the table, from the complexity of the new characters like Hiyuki and Dena to the very long-awaited technical advancements happening under the hood. We need to decide if the quality of the meal Kuro is cooking is enough to make up for the lack of party flavors. Without wasting more of your time, let's just get right into it. And chat, please give me some credit because I researched this topic so much I actually felt like I was falling down a rabbit hole. A fantasy kind. Just like Alice's adventures in Wonderland and their collaboration with Raid Shadow Legends. They've brought the realm of Teleria to Wonderland with a unique lineup of legendary champions, including Alice the Wanderer, the Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts. First, let's go to Alice, a high damage attack legendary who basically ruins an enemy's day by messing with their cooldowns. If you want to hit harder and more often, she is your powerhouse. And then there is the Cheshire Cat, a sinister DPS unit who uses Perfect Veil to stay hidden while he manipulates speed and chains turns. Absolutely dangerous in both PvP and PvE. If you want to jump in, now is the absolute best time because the rewards for new players are absolutely a bit ridiculous right now. If you scan my QR code or click the link in the description, you are getting a mega starter pack that includes 2 legendaries and 1 epic champion. It is a massive head start, and using my link is the best way to directly support the channel and your account in perpetuity. Here is what is inside the pack. Instantly unlock legendary Elenaril for massive AoE poison damage. Reach level 15 to get the amazing epic healer and reviver Tagoar. Plus, new players can pick one of 4 more legendary champions using these promo codes on the screen. Me personally, I recommend picking Cheshire Cat because the kit sounds super good for someone who is just starting out. Just remember, this mega starter pack is only available via my link or the QR code, and you have to redeem them within 48 hours of downloading. Thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back into it. Starting from the beginning, Sol and Lee is back, baby. Where is Dong, you might ask? Forgotten, like the 1.x character selector completely missing. But anyways, when he talks about the player's passion being the only reason the game made it this far, it feels like a genuine thank you for me. But thank yous and I love views aren't the only things that are being presented here. Getting into the actual contents of the patch, more specifically the story, the highlight here is the climax of the Exostrider plan. We are finally going back for IMF. For a lot of the community, it's not just some continuation of the main narrative. This is something personal, okay? We have waited for months. I have waited for months. Who am I kidding? We are finally going to take back our daughter. We have spent so much time over the patches wondering when the game would circle back to her. Rover, lock in, bro. Your daughter, bro. Where? And now that we are venturing into the high concentration void space to find her, it feels like the story is finally landing, you know? Looking at the Exostrider itself in the trailer, it looks like the design looks a little bit concerning. It has got this black and red color scheme, and so in a way it kind of implies that it is under the control of the Fraxidus. I mean, this is just a theory since they do use these colors as their signature. And let's be clear, while the first anniversary of Wuthering Waves happened in a filler patch, the 3.3 update is the complete opposite of that. We are literally going to confront a Threnodian threat once and for all. Apparently, the threat is so nuclear that if it breaks loose, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗵𝘁 wouldn't be the only one having a problem. We are dealing with the survival of all of Solaris. In some way, it feels like a proper milestone for the second anniversary. There is also this one moment in the trailer that I just can't stop thinking about. It is a small detail at the very end of the trailer cinematic, but when the male and female rovers' voices are overlapping, telling Aleph 1 that right now you are dealing with me.
Right now, you're dealing with me.
Cold! That is so cold, bro. Like, we went from a flatly voice acted
You're not going anywhere.
to this absolute peak moments, bro. Are you seeing how powerful our main protagonist has become? I mean, if we're getting this now, who knows about the actual strength Rover has that we haven't even seen yet? It is those kinds of subtle details that make me think Kuro is cooking for the actual long run. But listen, Solon and his associate here said that they can't give away too much crumbs, you know? And so if what we're getting right now is considered just crumbs, can you imagine how insane the full meal would be? I just really can't wait, bro. I'm just so excited. But other than that, we are getting a whole new region, the Dimmer Plains. Now, I'm gonna be honest, at first glance, it is indubitably hard not to draw comparisons to Elden Ring, mostly because of the really obvious massive tree sitting right in the center. But what we are having, the Solvane Heartwood. This tree has a galaxy-colored orb sitting in the middle of it. It looks like the heart of the area, you know? The thing keeping everything running while the rest of the world is decaying. And instead of a golden glow like in Elden Ring, it feels more like a post-apocalyptic galactic looking area. Seems like even gravity doesn't seem to work the way it is supposed to, because there is like massive chunks of rocks just hovering in the air, which apparently usually happens when the void matter energy in this world gets too thick. I mean, it's a total mess for anyone trying to walk around on foot, I am sure, but it creates a perfect stage for a new traversal mechanic. Kuro is finally letting us fly again. I mean, we used to be able to fly anywhere, but ever since 3.0, we were pretty much stuck on the ground. Of course, we got a motorbike to compensate, you know, so it didn't feel like much of a loss because, well, it's a goddamn motorbike. It is cool as hell. But now they have literally put wings on our motorbike, becoming a central part of how you explore the region in this update. I am saying this quite calmly, but like, this is such a big deal, man. From the footage alone, it is really hard to not get excited for next patch because it just looks like we're getting bangers after bangers after bangers. And with this new flying motorbike mechanic, they are introducing aerial tracks and stunt mechanics as well. Because why fly if can't style? You know what I'm saying?
Well, how about next time you get a board that can handle the neutron style? Later, Nick.
Even the exploration feels more alive because of the new permanent events. You are actually helping people restore these things called Voidbane Elder Trees. And as you do it, you see real in-game results. Civilization starts coming back to places that used to be dead and corroded. It makes me feel like I'm actually fixing the world in a way, you know? I mean, I am the hero of the story after all. Spoken like like a true self-insert glaive. Jesus Christ. But speaking of heroes and stories, we have the new characters, and the contrast between them is incredibly fascinating, at least to me. First, there is Hiyuki. She is the sole member of the Special Response Force, a wanderer who inherited a fragment of the Sentinel's power named Suzu. From that moment forward, she bears the responsibility of keeping the region safe. They showed off a couple of her idol animations, but my favorite one is where she cuts a chunk of ice and makes it animal shaped. In my opinion, it looks incredibly cool. We have seen and talked about the attack animations and how ethereal she looks in my last video, so make sure to check it out. But one line in my knowledge that was not shown before and is actually the most banger line is this one.
May the Sakura incinerate. Burn this self away.
God damn, that was hard. We got to learn about this character, but I am actually down to make another dedicated video for her just for the complexity of the character, you know what I'm saying? But gameplay wise, she specializes in applying something called Glacio Chafe. You remember those elemental debuffs they added like a year ago? They introduced Spectral Frazzle for the likes of Phoebe and Zani, Aero Erosion for Kartatia and Chakona, and now we have Glacio Chafe, with Hiyuki as the first character that has it. When she ults, unleashes her Bankai, and basically she gets into flow states. Apparently this also has overworld effects, like in the area that was shown in the live stream. The snow gets thicker and higher. It is snowing, and I don't know about other regions, but we will have to see. In this flow states, her basic attacks are basically Sanhua ults, and there is a moment shown in the live stream where it looks like she has a parry mechanic, or is it more of a dodge counter mechanic? I have no idea, but personally I cannot wait to solo hologram bosses with this character and die multiple times trying. Her weapon is called Frostburn. I mean, I love the name so much. It just fits the character so well. Cold at the surface, warm at the heart. Crimson and Sakura-ish colors. It has aura, like literally the sword has aura. And by the way, we're getting like weapon gacha convene animations right now. Not just that boring weapon pull anymore. I mean, sure, why not? I'll take it, right? I love how the game keeps improving even on the smallest details. And then we have Dena, and Dena is a lot. All two of them at the same time. On the surface, she is a credit score obsessed overachiever who never skips class. But the live stream and the story drops these massive hints that she is actually quite sinister. You know, chat, if Dena was a content creator, she would be Saikuno.
Have you seen the memes? Have you seen the memes about me? Posting them should be a crime.
She's like that trope where she is the harmless looking low XP person, you know what I'm saying? And she is secretly the one with the most broken, overpowered technique. She's gonna slide in your DMs, acting like she's the best girl. And then she's gonna farm you, lil bro.
All right, one red flag, but you're still pretty hot.
Her idol animation literally has her making origami gingerbread men play a death game. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. But the most confusing part about her is her elements. Classic Kuro games, am I right? Looking at her attacks, they are watery, bubbly, and purple. You swear that she was a Hava character. I mean, we have a whole character that has similar bubbly water attacks with jellyfishes that has a Havoc element. But no, Dena is actually fusion. Basically the fire elements. How is this fire at all? I mean, obviously it is fire in a good way. Like, yeah, it looks good. But how is this literally fire? During her burst, she has this alternate personality where her bubbly version completely disappears and a much darker version takes over. She has a whole different attack animations, and this makes it look much more sense about her fire or fusion elements. After filling up her forte, she can do her second ult, which not only deals damage, it creates a black hole in the field. Obviously, it wouldn't be completely broken, like actually engulfs anything that goes in it, but it does create a crowd control effect, sucking them all in the middle part of where the burst was done. Even her weapon, Forged Dwarf Star. The design is a lot to take in. Like, there are very creative things like the keys that also acts as a cage for the teddy bear inside it, origami people, and literally black hole looking galaxy holes coming out of the teddy bear. It's just a whole lot, but it looks looks very cool. I dare say the best designed weapon in Wuthering Waves. And you know, usually when a gacha game hits its second anniversary, the file size is so bloated, it starts to feel like you're sitting next to queso. But Kuro Games finally listened after months or even years at this point of just constant feedback about their memory optimization. They have introduced a resource cleanup feature, and it lets you delete the data from story quests and map environments you have already finished. The developers said that if you are caught up on everything, you can shave off around 37 gigabytes. That amount of memory freed up and having really good graphics? Hey, sign me up, brother! Speaking of good graphics though, there is the frame generation. This is the most surprising thing for me because usually developers wait for the big boy tech companies like Nvidia or AMD to provide the tools for this. But Kuro apparently got tired of waiting and listening to the same feedback over and over and over again for months and decided to build their own solution for both PC and mobile. Frame generation is essentially a trick where the game creates fake frames in between the real ones to make the movement look twice as smooth. The fact that they did this themselves shows a level of engineering independence and just sheer dedication to please their players that most studios that just don't have. They are also lowering the barrier to entry for new people to start playing. The initial download is now down to about 28 gigabytes. In an era where some mobile games ask for 60 or 80 gigabytes before you even see the title screen, this is a massive W for the unemployed. A patch where they are not just focused on keeping the whales happy, they are making sure the game stays accessible. And speaking of keeping people happy, they are bringing back the absolutely peak gameplay experience game mode, Depths of Elusive Realms.
What the heck?
Which is easily the most loved event in the game. All the systems we like are back. Plus, we are getting those cute Nami pawns again. New exploration scenarios, obviously more newer resonators will be available to play. Solon Lee, I am begging, please, just make this a regularly updated thing, please. I really love this game mode, and it never gets old for me. They announced that certain stages will have adjustable difficulty systems. This is why they're my goats! You know, at launch, when you reach endgame in Elusive Realms, you are basically a god, immortal, massive damage, attacks like an Asian mom that found out her kid got a B- in mathematics. You have the option to struggle now and have so much bragging rights when you complete it in the highest, hardest level possible. Another W for the dungeon mains. On top of that, the event list is huge. Like, when I say huge, I mean like the gap between my paycheck and the money I spend on these gacha games, like massive. Mini games like Cute Derby and Star Bouncing. There is a Void Matter Blocks event, which is basically in-game life-threatening Tetris. Kinda like Tetris if it was being played in Squid Games. And for the combat fans, there is a combat event for you to enjoy. They even added a new hologram boss, Sigillum. We're gonna be fighting Rover. Dev's lesson moment has never been truer in my life before. I say that until we talk about what we're getting for the anniversary, because that is where we go downhill. Are you ready, middle-aged people? We are finally addressing the elephant in the room. I mean, the conversation happened all over the internet. Gacha Smack posted a podcast of content creators talking about the live stream. You may have seen the community tearing itself apart over whether this is the best patch ever or the worst anniversary in history, or both at the same time. But I'm looking at this unbiasedly. Both sides have a point. If we look at the rewards alone, like regardless of the peak absolute cinema changes and additions of content we have talked about earlier, it's looking pretty lean for a second anniversary, you know? However, when you factor in the exploration rewards from the new region and all of the other events, we're actually looking at a massive 150 plus pull patch. For comparison, the first anniversary update at 2.3 was a filler patch. It had no new areas and very little to do. 3.3 is miles ahead in terms of pure content and potential currency. So why does it still feel off, you know? Because some things that make it feel like an actual anniversary anniversary are missing. One of them being the anniversary reruns. Last year, Kuro ran a massive banner event where you could pull for almost any character you missed. This year, nothing like that. No chance to pick up the 1.x, 2.x characters like Carlotta, Chacona, Storekeeper. Do I need to keep going? Like, imagine saving for months, waiting for the anniversary banners, and you're not getting it. Like, this is so sad. And the irony here is that this is a direct result of Kuro listening to the wrong people. Last year, a segment of the community and some very loud grifters, let's be real here, attacked Kuro for those reruns. They called it greedy to run so many banners at once, as if you gotta pull everything, bro. You're so dumb. Like, it's so obvious it was objectively better for player choice. People on the internet saying the reruns were worthless and just a cash grab. Fast forward to now, and those same people are suddenly acting like it's a good thing, and Kuro is making a mistake by not putting them in. Motherfuckers took a whole ass 180. It's incredibly unfortunate how that is not the only thing that made the supposed birthday party felt so much less festive than last year's. Kuro heard the backlash, they took it to heart and cut the bloats. They removed the skits, the music, the reruns to please these people. But in doing so, they cut out the heart of the celebration. Bro, why would you not want these, bro? The things that make it an anniversary. Clearly, you're just grifting, LARPing as a Wuthering Waves player. Like, I hate these people, bruh. And then you have the collab stickers for the motorbikes. We have Resident Evil, Haikyuu, Kaiju number 8, and a lot of other stuff. Admittedly, these do look very cool, especially the Resident Evil ones. But it feels like these are filling the space where the gifts should be, right? Does that make sense? Instead of the anniversary feeling like a celebration of Wuthering Waves, it feels like a giant billboard. Even the new skins, like Morney's plush dream outfit, is a premium skin that you have to spend real-life money to get. When the special content is actually just an advertisement or a price tag, it leaves a sour taste. For a lot of games, anniversary are patches where you give back to the player base. Sometimes the other way around, but it's usually just, you know, a celebration. And it's not about being entitled. I'm not. I mean, I spend way too much money on this game to realistically care about free stuff. I'm saying this because that is literally how it has always been. It feels like Kuro is using the sheer quality and contents of the patch as a shield. They're betting that the story, the quality of lives, and the emotional payoff of the 𝗖cie storyline will make us forget about the birthday party part of the update feels so hollow. They gave us an amazing update, but the anniversary itself, it's just like Dong. Where is he? I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. Where is he? So where does that leave us? Looking at version 3.3, it is clear that Kuro Games has given us a complete masterclass in game development. They are just amazing, okay? They have managed to optimize the tech side and push the story to a peak never before seen by the players. But at the same time, they have made what feels like a rookie mistake in community management. They are proving they can build a world and fix a system better than almost anyone else in the space, but they still haven't quite mastered making your players feel seen during a major milestone, especially when a year before, they said they were going to improve on the next anniversary. It feels like deja vu in a way. The real takeaway here is a question of priority. If the actual story, the combat, and the world we are exploring is this high quality, can we actually look past the lack of festivity in the anniversary? Or does a second anniversary require a level of generosity that actually matches the passion the community has shown for the last 2 years? It is a strange trade-off to make. We are getting one of the best gameplay experiences the genre has to offer, but it is wrapped in a celebration that feels a bit hollow. At the end of the day, the game can't survive on free polls alone, but a community shouldn't feel like an afterthought during its own birthday. But that is just my take on the matter. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I am interested to hear your thoughts on this, by the way. Thank you, Raid Shadow Legends, for sponsoring this video. But that is all from me, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗿𝗵𝗁, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!